Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are so pleased to have in the studio with us today author Nora Carman. The book is Tiger in My Tummy. She's a children's author, and it's good to have you. How you doing?
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to meet you, all of you.
Thank you. That's all good stuff. Joined by my colleague and the co-host, Kristen Vogel. She's been with us now for about 17 months. It'll be 25 months by the time we do the next show. As you well know, that Kristen is the executive director of something that'll be near and dear to your heart, Nora, San Diego Writers, Inc.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yep, she knows all about authors and playwrights and
I'm excited.
everything in between. I see you have the star of the book, Tumbly, sitting next to you, correct?
I do. It's a giant stuffed tiger. We named him Tumbly after Pooh Bear's Rumbly Tumbly.
Very, very good. I know Tumbly it's his first podcast. He looks great, nice and comfortable. Tumbly, how you doing?
Actually, I've done several podcasts, but thanks for noticing me.
Very, very good. That's good. Now, Tumbly, tell me your relationship with author Nora Carman.
I believe I was one in a carnival.
At Legoland, as a matter of fact.
My mind, it wanders.
That's right.
Yes, I was one of Legoland, and now I'm an inspiration for this book that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, we're going to get back to you later in the show, and ask you, Tumbly, some of your favorite books. I know your most favorite book is exactly, but there may be some other books that are in there as well. So if you can just hang tight, that would be great. Is that okay?
Hanging.
Okay, very good. So, Nora,
Yes.
How long have you been a children's author? How many books have you written? What inspired you to do this?
Well, what inspired me was my son. When he was little, he would often get very involved with talking with friends or playing. And even though there was a meal in front of him, he would not eat much of it. And later his stomach would start to make all sorts of noises. And so we started to call it his tiger in his tummy, and to remind him that he needed to feed the tiger in his tummy. So this has actually been written almost 15 years ago. And I've just started to pull out my writing and retool it. And I was able to go to a writer's conference and present it. And that began the process of publishing.
Nice. Which conference did you go to?
Write to Publish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, are you familiar with that one?
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Well, now you need to sit there and do some work with Kristen.
Absolutely.
And there's San Diego Writers Inc. group on it. What is the message that you want people to come out with Tiger in the Tummy, whether it's the kids or whether it's the parents?
Sure. I want to encourage time together each evening in conversation with your children. I find that space to create a safe space for them to talk through their day and things that they are going through. So that and creativity and also compassion for others. The underlying story is that there are 1 in 5 children globally that face hunger and malnutrition. And I'm so privileged to partner with kids around the world who are working very hard to mitigate that and create meals. And so in the very back of the book, there's when your child is old enough, you can read that about ways to help the hungry, ways to host a meal packing event. But it is mainly to remind little ones to have a good meal to start their day, or the tiger in their tummy will begin to growl, and it grows bigger as you progress through the story, as he gets hungrier. And he crawls on his head at one point because you often get a headache when you don't eat correctly and things like that. So,
well, I mean, there's so many different things that are tied to that, to hunger. We all know in San Diego County that food insecurity is huge, and it surprises people when they hear the numbers. One of our frequent guests is Casey Castillo from the San Diego Food Bank. Do you work with Casey at all?
We do support them, yes.
Yeah.
San Diego
and it's crazy. And Kristen, you've been on some of those interviews, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's shocking to see how many San Diegans are food insecure.
And the only meal that they get is during the school day, possibly. And of course, when they're off for spring break or they're off for the summer, it is a challenge. You know this better than anybody, Nora, on that. So, good for you to focus on that aspect of it. Just a side story. My mom, a saint, as was my dad. My dad passed away many, many years ago. Mom lived to be 95 years young.
Oh.
Every meal I had literally from kindergarten through high school, we had breakfast. Every meal.
That's
so
awesome.
my friends are falling asleep in about second period in fourth grade or fifth grade or eighth grade. I'm zooming around and you learn that is the most important meal, at least when you're younger and all that.
It really affects your capacity to learn, to concentrate, everything. Yeah, your mood, definitely affected my son's mood. We could tell when he hadn't had enough to eat. So
is that right?
Still today, when I talk to him at college, I'm like, how long ago did you have a meal?
That is very what school does he go to?
UCLA.
Nice. Okay. All right. I'll step aside for a while.
Okay.
All right.
We are now ending the podcast. Drew and Nora will be having a conversation for 6. My dad taught medicine at UCLA,
yes.
So we're big Bruin fans and so forth on this. Talk about something that's also near and dear to my heart and Kristen's as well. Many years ago, I was honored to be the president of the Greater San Diego Reading Association. So Reading Aloud, Jim Trelease, and the Read Aloud Handbook. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it at all. If not, you should pick it up. It's been around for quite a while. Talk about how critical that is. And I know you do it a lot with Declan.
Mm-hmm. I just read a statistic about that. Children that are read at least one book a night enter kindergarten having heard 250,000 more words than children that are not exposed to the books. And then children that are read 5 books an evening enter kindergarten having heard 1.4 million more words. And words give you the capacity to express your feelings, your emotions better, and it's essential. And it also just creates that bond, that time in the evening. I found it was very... they would open up more about what had gone on in their day, just creating a safe space each evening. When you read together, you talk about what you're reading, you even create stories together. I have some other stories coming up that the kids help me create, and it's so important in their development, in their capacity to think and express themselves clearly.
Yeah, and there's not an age that's too young to read to your kids. And a lot of people do read the kids when the mom is pregnant. When did you start reading to Declan?
I mean, like when he was in my stomach.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And did you take turns with Joey to read to him when he was, infant and growing up?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of fallen into this pattern where I'm kind of the storyteller because I'll do both, like oral and, we'll read a couple books, and then we're on this kick where I have this character that I talk about, that I very quickly make up stories about every single night. So,
and you do voices. So.
And I do voices.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. We're chatting with author Nora Carman. She is the author of Tiger in My Tummy. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 19th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing great things in San Diego County. Focused on food insecurity, literacy, and everything in between, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. You bring up a good point. Tumbly, let me ask you this, okay? When you were just born, what stories were you read to?
I really liked Winnie the Pooh. Anyone with a strong protagonist and a central conflict really appealed to me.
Wow, you know the word protagonist. That is amazing.
Because I was read 1.2 million stories by the time I entered kindergarten.
That is favorite. So other than Winnie the Pooh, what are some of your favorite books?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Tumbly? You talking to Tumbly?
Who are you?
I'm your co-host.
Tumbly, I'm asking
Yeah,
you,
I'm here.
what are your favorite books?
I really like Tiger in My Tummy. That one really speaks to me right now.
Okay, we're good.
Because it's about me.
How about Goodnight Moon?
I like Goodnight Moon. There's a good mouse in there. There's bunny.
Okay.
There's it's got lots of nice colors. It's got a good message.
Okay, so Kristen, you've heard from Tumbly.
I have,
okay. And what were some of the favorite books that Declan liked?
Oh my gosh, so many things. Just so many things. I can't even. But this is my problem, Drew. Like I know I'm like 40, but I can't ever remember anything. Like, what are my favorite bands? I don't know. What are my favorite, like what are we listening to? I have no idea. All I know is that we read every night all of the things. I mean, he loves Berenstain Bears. I mean, that's an easy one but everything.
Well, you're just a youngster. When we come back from break, we're going to talk more about, Nora's favorite books. We're also going to talk about these meal packing activities, which is near and dear to your heart as well. And really publicize some of that. And then what's the next steps, for Nora? Is there a Tiger in My Tummy 2.0? And then we're going to save some time for Tumbly to talk about, where he would like to see the world going when it comes to world hunger and so forth. When we return with our conversation with author Nora Carman, I'm Drew Schlosberg, and we will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are back with author Nora Carman. She is the author of Tiger in My Tummy, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and we have the star of the book also in the studio with us today, Tumbly. Kristen, we'll start with you. You had a question about the writing process, but I want to save some time for Nora to talk about her trip to the Dominican Republic as well.
Yeah, and those meal kits as well. So correct me if I'm wrong. So your son was young, and then a number of years later, you decided to create the book. Is that what happened, or?
No, I've had the story written for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
I just pulled it out and started to retool it and decided that I wanted to pursue publishing it.
Okay.
Yeah, and finding a nonprofit partner because I didn't want it to just be about reminding children to eat. I wanted to meet the needs of children that don't have sufficient food.
Okay.
So.
And I wanted to highlight that too, because there's so many people that want to write a book or a children's book in particular, and, they're very daunted by it. So, what sort of like words of wisdom can you give, or how long did it take you? What can you share about that experience?
It takes a very long time and it takes a village.
Yes.
So one of the beautiful things about this is in that process when I was pulling out my work, my daughter, without me knowing, gave one of my stories to her then boyfriend, now husband. They got married last May.
Oh, yay. Congrats.
And he is an incredible artist. Mm-hmm. And he illustrated the entire story, not this one, a different one, as a Mother's Day gift.
How cool.
It was such an incredible gift to see the characters come to life. And in the interim, I had about 3 weeks until I was going to go to the conference, and I had 3 more stories, and I asked him if I could employ him to illustrate the remainder, and he did an amazing job. And I'm so grateful for his talent and so grateful for him sharing that with me. And we would talk through the process, like how do you make a tiger look not scary in a children's book. And the first iterations were a little scary.
Yeah.
So then we talked about a hoodie, and the tiger's a baby tiger, and then he grows as you get more hungry. So it actually takes so many people to come alongside you. And then as our book launch, we did a meal packing event for kids around the world. And all my friends and family came, and we were able to pack 5,417 meals. And I still have neighbors coming up to me and going, when are you going to do it again?
Oh, wow.
Because it's such a community building event. You spend that time, we play music. I think Eye of the Tiger was our first song when we started packing the meals. And it was a wonderful community building event and a way to launch the book and to benefit hungry children
That's so
at the
wonderful.
same time.
And did this trip to the Dominican Republic, did this factor into that? Or
Yes. They had a team coming. They had a team going to the Dominican Republic last November, a few months after the book had launched, and I signed up to go. I flew to Florida and met the team there. And then we went into the Dominican Republic and we built a playground in an area. It's important that they build playgrounds. So they've just celebrated their 30th anniversary. And in that time, they've provided 84 million meals worldwide.
Wow.
And they've built over almost 1,241 playgrounds. And I wouldn't have known the impact of a playground except that I got to go and see. And we built this playground, and then we were able to go visit other builds. And one of them had been an abandoned lot where people would just party and throw trash. And they came in and cleaned it all. They put a playground in. And then because there was a man that owned property adjacent, and when he saw that people were investing in the community, he donated that property and built a baseball field. And as we've traveled back, and we got to see how the ripple effect in the community of people caring for the property and having a safe place for children to play. I would have never known that a playground could do that. And and then on dedication day, it was the most amazing. We spent 3 days of hard labor. It was great. We had some construction workers there, people that had done it before, and they just told us what to do, where to dig, and all that. And once we got it built, there's a dedication service. And the kids, the anticipation was just growing, and you could tell they just cut the ribbon already, and they did, and then they just swarmed the playground. It was very wonderful. I'll never forget it.
There's an event coming up on March 2nd, is there not?
Yes. If you want to join in packing the meals on March 2nd, a week from Sunday, at North Coast Calvary in Carlsbad, California, off of Poinsettia. There are 2 shifts you can sign up for at 10 a.m. and noon, and it's an hour long. And you pack, they're 1-meal packets. The 1-meal packets contain red lentils for protein, fortified white rice, dehydrated vegetables, and most importantly, a vitamin and mineral packet. And so it's like assembly line. They play music. They have celebrations at certain mile markers. They hope to pack 100,000 meals.
So how do they get involved? Do they contact you, or is there a website?
Yes, the North Coast Calvary website. You go there and go under events. And on recent events, you can sign up for your, whether you'd like to participate in the 10 a.m. or the noon.
Right, exactly. Now, Tumbly, let me ask you a question. Are you going to be at this March 2nd packing event?
Of course I'll be there, Drew.
Very good. And how many meals do you plan on packing?
Well, the problem is I pack some, I eat some, I pack some, I eat some. So if you can do the math, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't do the math on this thing here, but that would be great. Tumbly, do you sign autographs of Tiger in the Tummy book?
I don't have thumbs.
You don't have thumbs. That's odd. Okay, I thought tigers had thumbs. Maybe they don't have thumbs.
I don't have thumbs. I didn't speak to all tigers. I do not currently have thumbs.
Getting a little aggressive on the air here, aren't you, Tumbly? That's okay. Maybe, do you have enough to eat today, Tumbly?
No.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. Well, listen, Tumbly, appreciate you coming on, sharing your thoughts with myself and Kristen Fogel. You know what? Maybe we'll have Tumbly have you actually present in front of one of Kristen's classes. How's that sound?
That would be fantastic, Drew.
Yeah, we'll make sure that happens. Nora, talk a little bit about what our listeners can do to support your efforts. Obviously, March 2nd would be great to participate in that. But what else can they do to get involved in this, shortage of food and the hunger that we have, not only just in our region, but worldwide?
Right. They can go to Kids Around the World directly to their website, and there are global impact trips they can sign up for. They have a few coming up this summer where you can travel, I believe, to Ecuador, Panama, or Uganda to actually help do a build and hand out meals. One of the most wonderful things for me was when we were in the Dominican, we got to go to a Haitian refugee community and hand out their first 1 meal packets. And a packet will feed 6 people.
Wow.
And it only costs 30 cents per meal, so $1.80 per packet.
Wow.
And so you can contribute financially, but they do need volunteers to come and actually put together the packets. So there's that at North Coast Calvary, and then Daybreak Church, also in Carlsbad, is doing another meal packing on July 27th, and that their website will have that information. On my website, you can NoraCarman.com. You can see where I'm speaking or doing readings, and I do post when there are meal packings as well. So
you brought something into the studio. What is that exactly?
this is the 1 meal packet.
Okay.
And yes,
So the 1 meal packet consists of what?
it is the red lentils, the fortified rice, the dehydrated vegetables, and the vitamin and mineral packet.
Right.
And it is palatable across many cultures, and they can add their own spices. They can add a protein if it's available. And then one friend on the team had been in Peru, I believe, and they'd made it into a drink. And he was hesitant to try it, but then he did, and he said it was really wonderful, very tasty. So
No, that's great. And again, how do we get a hold of you? What's the best website for you?
NoraCarman.com.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming in. And Tumbly, we appreciate your insights for sharing that with us as well. Thank you. Tumbly's a little quiet right now. He's a little exhausted from the interview.
He is.
Kristen, appreciate always your 2 cents. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And again, I encourage everyone to get involved with Nora. What an admirable activity that is, as she had explained in Tiger in My Tummy. Go to Amazon to get that, I take it?
Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Very good. All right. Glad to see there's still a bookstore around these days. That's so important. And read to your kids, read to your grandkids, read to everybody. And that is a lesson. Any final comments, Kristen?
No, just thanks for the good work you do, and let's chat offline about writing and reading opportunities.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And listeners, go to Kids Around the World if you want to help them directly, or sign up for meal packing at northcoastcalvary.com for Sunday, March 2nd.
That sounds
Perfect.
great.
Thank you.
Chatting with Nora Carman, author of Tiger in My Tummy. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 19th year. Brought to you by the fine folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. 60 years of doing great things living in San Diego County. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.